I am so excited this morning. I get to start a new project, one that I've been planning on for probably, or at least thinking about, for the better part of 3 years. And I am talking about my van project. Yes. So I have been, my passions are camping and cooking and mountain biking and road biking, photography and all these other things. And many years ago, I started seeing all these awesome van builds by everybody. And it started out with just a trickle, right, of just a few people, but then more and more people. And you really start to get inspired, and you realize the amazing thing about van builds is that you can make it your own. You can put everything you want in it yourself. You can tweak things. If you like something that somebody did, you can copy it. If you don't like it, then you can change it. It's really so versatile. And so I started watching YouTube video after YouTube video after YouTube video, which I'm sure a lot of you all do as well, and getting inspired. Well, mid last year, I took the plunge and placed an order for my Sprinter. It took 9 months to get. And so over the course of that time, that's okay. Patience is a virtue, they say. And over that time, I was able to focus on more planning aspects. As a matter of fact, I got so antsy in wanting to get the van that I ended up taping out a replica of the back, or not a replica, but a scale model of the back, so that I could see where the wheel well was. I could start taping off some of the areas where I was going to be building things, and then I could also see the space I had for putting other items. In any case, that's obviously just a taped version, but let me show you. And there's the truck you might have seen. I posted a few videos on that as I was learning filming and telling you guys how I'm doing stuff. But here is my new baby. So she is a 2500 four-wheel drive diesel, 2019. High roof, but I think everyone gets high roof these days. And she is just a blank canvas, ready to draw on. So extremely excited about this. I've started doing a few little things, little prep stuff I had to do related to the electrical, but I'm going to talk about that at some other point. All right, so I didn't really show you much of the van, just showed you the outside and the inside for a moment. I'll show you more later. The goal of this van is it's a project that I can learn from, and it's a van that has the capabilities I'm looking for, which is to be able to go off-roading. I love mountain biking, so this will allow, and I love camping. So this will allow me to kind of maybe get farther and deeper into the woods than I would have been able to do with a normal van, and maybe more importantly, get out if I get stuck. So that's good. Before I jump to showing or starting the first phase of this massive project, I thought I would just take a moment to talk about my intent of this van, and I guess my approach to this van build, and sharing it with all of you. So I've seen, probably a lot of you have, so many different van builds, and they're awesome. Every single one is great, partly because people are putting themselves out there and they're sharing what they're doing, even if it doesn't always work out, right? And I think what makes this van life movement so empowering is that it's individual for everybody. You watch somebody and you go, wow, they're making it just how they want it, right? And the great part about it is as you look at somebody's van build, you say, oh, I really like that, what they're doing. I want to copy that. And then maybe something else you go, I don't like that. And the great element of this is that you don't have to copy the things that you don't like. There's nobody saying this is the only way to make or to do a van build. As a matter of fact, I think everyone's kind of saying the opposite through this, and through the fact that there are so many different videos out there for every single step. So my approach to this is to share with you my own interpretation of the my van build, of what I've seen, and obviously what I feel is good for me and that will meet my needs. A lot of people, most people, end up doing the van builds to also create maybe a side income or primary income stream, and that is great. They're very upfront about it. There's not like any, you know, misdirection, and they end up going through, as a result, they go through the process of the build, and they say, this is exactly what piece of wood I'm using. This is the drill size. This is the sealant I'm using, and here's the fan, and they put links to all of that into their van build, so you can click through what they call affiliated programs. And again, it's great. I actually have clicked on so many links I can't even count in order to buy the stuff, because I feel like if they're putting the effort through, why not? It doesn't cost us any more to click on those links. And it helps us too, right? Because you don't have to go through the effort of finding those things. And I will say that the Amazon delivery person knows my house personally now from all the things I've been buying for this van build. Anyways, so I do not intend to do that. I might put a link or two if there's something that's really unique that I haven't seen, but for the most part, all the things I'm doing, the individual steps, are things that other people have done. So what I'm going to do instead is I'll put 2 or maybe 3 links of other van builds that I've seen that I really like, that have helped me for that particular phase of my project. And then what you can do is, when you watch me, if you like something I did, or you want to repeat it, so like maybe I'm putting a fan in my roof, right? And I've got to cut the hole and get the fan and so on. If you like it, you won't, from my kind of video, be able to recreate it exactly. But what you could do is click the links and go to one of the van builds that are in the link and use them, and then click on their links to get the products that you're looking for. It's also very good to watch multiple people when you do something, because everybody has a different angle on how they're going to approach a project or a task. And so again, like I said before, you can pick the best one or mix them together. So with that, anyways, I just wanted to kind of mention that this won't be a van build in which you can click the link below to, and click all the tools that you want. But I will try to help a little bit in sharing some of the videos I've seen that you can get that information from. Okay, so maybe the only other thing I'll mention in this van build, in this intro, is high level how I'm gonna approach this project, because it's very big and daunting. And I will say that I kind of got overwhelmed for some time in trying to figure out how I was going to get through this, and where do you start. And everybody kind of has a similar pattern, I guess, but I'm going to go and lay everything out. I'll talk about high level what I'm going to do at each stage, and then I'll talk about the main steps and try to just explain to help you organize your thoughts, so that if you want to do this, you can. So in the spirit of that, my van build, right, I'm going to start out with the floor. So I'll go through details of all this when I get to that particular phase. So I'm going to do the floor first, and really just the insulation of the floor. Then I'm going to go to do insulation of the walls. And the only thing that's going to go in there from an electrical standpoint at that stage is going to be the 110, and I'll explain that when I get to it. And then I'll focus on the ceiling. And the ceiling is insulation. It's also cutting holes in the ceiling. It's kind of everything that you need to prep for doing the next step. Then after I do that, I'm going to shift to electrical. And we'll put the wires in and do all the electrical. Go through that process with you as well, and my thinking. Following electrical, I guess I'd call it prep electrical. I'm going to do the plumbing prep. So the pipes and the fittings and kind of getting everything to where it needs to go, and drilling holes in the floor if it's needed, and so on. And then after that, I'm gonna move to prep for the cabinets. So this will be kind of getting structures in place, and if I think that's probably it. I'll probably do the furrings when I do the ceiling and everything else, but I might do it at that stage. Anyways, and then the next step of the plumbing, which is like putting fittings on and pumps in and things like that. And then finally, I'll actually install the floor, ceiling, and walls. So the actual wood will be installed, and then the cabinets go in, and that's the like finished cabinetry. And I will say that, and then after that, fittings and knobs and the sink and kind of the final touches of everything. And I'll say as a disclaimer, I don't have skills to do all this, so some of the stuff I'm going to learn myself. But other things, to do it right, it would take me quite a while to gain the skills all on my own, and many iterations of trial and error. And unfortunately, with certain things, I don't have the number of cycles to learn. So I'll give you an example of cabinets. That's a very visible thing, and if I'm going to do them myself, I've never done cabinetry work, so I'm going to go and dial a friend, right? And I'm going to go and have them help me. I have some friends that are amazing carpenters, and so I'll go visit them and have them help me think about the cabinets and work on it. But so I'm using that process along the way, just like the videos of all the great van lifers out there, how it's helped me learn certain pieces. There are other ones I'm going to go directly to and have some friends help me. Okay, with that, I know this is getting long, so we'll cut it off, and we'll go and start the first official phase of the project, which is going to be the floors. So stay tuned.